Episode 10 starts with Selena Gomez and her brothers in class with their dad, where he's teaching them a new spell. It's Murieta Animata, I believe. It turns inanimate objects to life. Well, Selena Gomez's little brother is just being a stupid idiot. Selena Gomez's twin brother is really preoccupied with this new girl he likes, and we'll get into that in a little bit. But Selena Gomez is actually paying attention. And so Selena Gomez's dad says, "Okay, twink brother, try your spell." And he just completely fails at it. And then little brother tries, and he fails at it too. And then it comes to Selena Gomez, and she correctly does the spell. She animates this trophy that their dad has. I think it's from like track and field or something. It's a running person on a trophy. She brings it to life, and it runs off and starts running around the house. And Selena Gomez's dad is really mad at her for correctly doing the spell. He wanted her to animate a cup instead of the trophy. So he goes off in a little tantrum and is like, we're not doing any further lessons until you go catch that trophy. And so, like, Selena Gomez eventually ends up getting like 3 weeks grounding due to doing the spell correctly. And her brothers get no punishment whatsoever. But she has to go searching for it. She uses a metal detector, etc. Meanwhile, Selena Gomez's twin brother is really into this new girl, Miranda, which I'm pretty damn sure that there was a girl, Miranda, he liked in episode 1 or 2 and was dating or was trying to date. And she's back, but now she's being called a new girl. I don't know. I think it's the same person. I think the show is trying to gaslight me into thinking it's not, which would work because I don't remember names or faces from this show. But so he really wants to go out with this new girl, Miranda, and she ends up saying yes when he asks her to prom, and then or she asks him to prom, I think maybe. Anyway, either way, they go to prom together. But the day of prom or day before prom, he ends up with this big zit on his forehead. It's huge, and he's trying to come up with home remedies for it. His mom has this idea from when she was growing up that would make it go away within 3 days. And he's like, that's not fast enough. So then Selena Gomez offers to use magic to make it go away. So she uses a spell. Well, it turns out it's the Murieta Animata spell that brings it to life. And so he, instead of having a giant zit on his forehead, he has a giant talking zit. And it makes sassy comments and is quite a character. But Selena Gomez is like, oh my gosh, I'm sorry. I can undo it. I'll figure out a spell to make the zit go away. Because she's being nice and just messed up. She picked the wrong spell. But her twin brother is like, oh no, you've done enough damage already. So he decides, he comes up with other ways to handle this. Well, Selena Gomez, meanwhile, she's trying to trick their dad into giving her the unanimating spell without actually telling her dad what happened. Well, he refuses and he says, oh no, you have to catch that trophy before I'll give you the unanimating spell, which, like, even if she catches the trophy and doesn't know the unanimating spell, it's not going to work. He is a dumbass, and he's blaming Selena Gomez, who in this episode is trying to do nothing but the right thing. Justice for Selena Gomez. But anyway, Selena Gomez's twin brother ends up going to prom with Miranda, or whatever her name is. And he goes with this talking zit on his forehead. He wears like a hat over it. And he wears this hat the whole time, and it matches his zebra-striped suit. It is quite a loud outfit. But this is, his idea of, I'll just cover up the zit, is kind of undermined by the fact that the zit talks, and it's loud enough for other people to hear it. And for some reason, they think that it's him doing the talking because the talking's coming from his direction, but the zit has an accent that is clearly not his. But whatever. I think it's like a Brooklyn accent or something. I'm not good at identifying New York area accents. But basically, the zit gets him into trouble. It makes insulting comments about Miranda. It makes insulting comments about the jocks who are at the prom. And they try to get into a fight with him, and then Miranda gets mad at him and tries to break up with him. Well, Selena Gomez comes back from finding the trophy. She's the hero of this episode. She's like, okay, I found the trophy. I unanimated the trophy. I know this spell now. I'm going to go save my twin brother. So she goes and she unanimates the zit. And she ends up talking to Miranda and saying, hey, look, here's what's up. He's been acting weird because he has a zit. And then Miranda ends up completely understanding and like, oh yeah, I have a zit too. Look here. And it all ends happily ever after. But like, this episode treats Selena Gomez completely unfairly. She gets 3 weeks detention for doing a spell correctly. And then twin brother gets mad at her for attempting to fix the mistake that she made by accident. And then her dad refuses to give her the spell to undo the mistake that she made. Everybody else is going out and making havoc, and Selena Gomez is trying to do the right thing. Episode 11 isn't too complex. So Selena Gomez's twink brother wants to get into this academic contest, like the Scholastic Decathlon or the Mathletes or something like that. He is one of 2 finalists, and he has this rival who's also really, really trying to get into the Scholastic Decathlon or whatever it's called. So I don't even have a guess for what this other guy's name is. I'm just going to call him another guy. So Other guy is a huge suck up. Like he is not even trying to get in on merit. He's just trying to flatter the teacher who makes the decision. So like the teacher loves bolo ties. He wears a bolo tie. He's always talking about how great, how hey, look how great you look today. Have you lost some weight? All sorts of stuff like that. Not even trying to get in on merit. Meanwhile, Selena Gomez has this crush on a guy, and she and her twin brother figure out, oh shit, it's the same guy. Uh, she has a crush on her twin brother's rival. And so she's trying to convince him to help her out in asking him out on a date for the same day as the Scholastic Decathlon, or the same day as his audition for it, or something. And twin brother's like, why would I want to do that? And Selena Gomez is like, because if he goes on a date with me, you then are in the Scholastic Decathlon. We're on the same team here. He's like, oh shit, you're right. So that's going on one side. And then meanwhile, Selena Gomez's little brother has reached an age where his magical powers start to come through. So apparently, once you get to a certain age, your powers become more powerful and you lose control of them temporarily. Like he sneezes and then starts to float up in the air. And he accidentally, like, he's thinking about how he wants Chinese food and then he teleports their house to China to get Chinese food, that sort of stuff. Well, so in order to avoid this, he has to wear this special hat that suppresses his magical powers. And it's a goofy ass looking hat. I don't know why they couldn't have gotten a normal looking hat, but he has to wear it everywhere he goes or his magical powers will start to create havoc and mayhem. Um, I don't know why they couldn't transform it into a more normal looking hat, but whatever. It's probably would diminish its magical power or whatever. But the teacher who is deciding who goes to the Scholastic Decathlon comes over to their house to have an interview with Selena Gomez's twin brother. Well, meanwhile, Selena Gomez wants to get her twin brother's rival to fall in love with her. So she creates a love potion and she tries to give him the love potion. Well, the way this potion works is the two people have to drink the potion. So, and then they will be in love. So you have to get the other person to drink it and you have to drink it yourself. Well, a weird twist of events, she ends up drinking both halves of the potion by accident. So what happens when that happens is you fall in love with yourself. And when you fall in love with yourself, anytime you make some sort of flattering comment about yourself, your head grows bigger. So she starts to have this like balloon head. And every time she says something good about herself, it grows bigger. Every time she says something negative about herself, it grows smaller. Well, so the teacher comes over to have the interview with her twin brother, and her head is just growing out of control. So what they decide to do is give the special hat from the little brother to Selena Gomez, which shrinks her head. But then when she has the hat on, her little brother is doing magic and like transporting them to China and stuff. Anyway, during that meeting, the teacher is really, really impressed because little brother sent them to China to get Chinese food, and then sent them to Hawaii to get like luau dancers to come in. And he's like, wow, this shows that you are very cultured and you've shown that you are a very worldly person who cares a lot about various world cultures. And so he ends up giving the position on the Scholastic Decathlon to twin brother. And then what's his name, the rival, gets really angry and jealous. He had come over to the meeting saying that he was going over to see Selena Gomez, but actually he was going to sabotage her twin brother. And he gets like really mad and shouts at all of them and is like, I never liked you anyway. Something's wrong with all of you, blah, 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 blah. And it turns out he's just a huge asshole. Who knew? But that's pretty much how the episode goes. Selena Gomez's twin brother gets into the Scholastic Decathlon. Selena Gomez, eventually the potion wears off, and the little brother grows out of his little problem. Episode 12 starts with Selena Gomez in her history class. So this history teacher has a Thursday quiz every single Thursday. It's a pop quiz, but it's every Thursday, so they come in expecting it. Well, it turns out that he's patently unfair in these quizzes. Like he asked one of the kids, hey, what year did the War of 1812 start? 1812. But then he asked Selena Gomez, like, okay, so the Monroe Doctrine, tell me what year it went into effect, explain it to me, and tell me about the geopolitical impact of it. That's the sort of unfairness that he has in these pop quizzes. And the reason why, he says to Selena Gomez, is, well, your twin brother would know all of this. So she's like pissed off that she's being constantly compared to her twin brother, who's like way smarter than she is, and like everybody likes him more, except he's nerdy, even so she's theoretically popular and stuff. Whatever. Adults like him more. So then it goes to their wizard class with Selena Gomez's dad, and he's teaching them about genies. So he pulls out this lamp and is like, well, you need to watch out with genies because remember back in episode 9, when they learned everything in the magical world takes you literally. So make sure that you hire a lawyer who specializes in genies' wishes and curses. But they go and visit this genie inside the lamp because they're afraid to let her out of the lamp. See, genies are big tricksters, and they will always try to get out of their lamp, and if you let them out of their lamp, they will try to escape from you through trickery. And so he explains to them, yeah, genies will take 3 wishes, never let them out of their lamps, never let them escape. So she ends up going, and she thinks that she can outsmart the genie. But she calls the genie and is like, well, I want to stop being compared to my twin brother. Which, come on now, bro. You had to know that this would take you. They already told you. Genies are trying to trick you, and they're trying to twist everything you say to make you regret it. So obviously, this backfires, and it just makes it so that everybody forgets about her twin brother. Nobody remembers him. He still goes to school, but he gets kicked out of his classroom because the teacher doesn't remember him being enrolled in the class. And then Harper comments in the hallway, like, "Ooh, who's that new kid?" And Selena Gomez is like, "That's my twin brother." It's like, "No, he's not. You only have one brother, your little brother." And she's like, "Well, I have tips on that guy," which continuing a theme that will escalate a lot further in coming episodes. But so Selena Gomez, when she got her first wish, just in order to thwart the genie's desires to escape, was just like, "Yeah, well, you can't escape if I let you go." So she lets her go. Like, what a dumbass. But she has to use her second wish to bring the genie back, and then she uses her third wish. Again, not having learned the lessons here of literal wording. She's like, "Well, I hope that everyone can see you clearly as you are," to her twin brother. And then, so obviously, he becomes invisible. So then she has to figure all that out, blah, blah, blah. She's a dumbass in this episode. She should have learned the lesson a while back. What did my cats just knock over? But anyway, looking at my notes to see if there's anything else to bring up. Oh, Harper talks at one point about how good Selena Gomez's twin brother is at flossing, which he takes his gum health seriously. I'm kind of starting to see what she sees in him. But yeah, gum health is important. But she, Selena Gomez, eventually ends up having to enlist her little brother for the to undo the shit that she's done with her 3 wishes. So so I think the line is, well, if we couldn't outsmart her, maybe we can outdumb her. And then they bring in the little brother to be like, well, if you had a genie who tried to escape, what would you do? And he's like, well, I would put orange soda in her room. What? So they end up putting orange soda in the lamp. And the genie comes back because she's pissed off about having orange soda in her lamp because that's her house. So little brother did outdone her. And then he gets a wish. Apparently there's a reset button, and they can just reset, and all the wishes go away. So that's how that ends. And we've learned a lesson here. Listen to the lesson about everything being taken literally, because it is important.